I'm glad you enjoyed putting some bass down today.
No, I did. When I say any time, I really would love to do it because it for me, it's where my heart is. It comes back to the basics for me, and playing, and doing something, and it's being creative. That's what I enjoy doing. Some people are techos, and they talk about gear all day. You get on a bus and talk about equipment and speakers, and so I don't do this for a living. I mix shows, and I have to, sometimes sit and listen to bass players, and I think, and I listen to music on the radios now and again. When my wife has it on more than me, but she'll listen to stuff, and I think, this is dirge.
When I worked at the studio full time, and then for a few years after, I found it really difficult to listen to music. Because I'd get home from a 10-hour day sitting in front of speakers. So the last thing I'd ever want to do when I get home was listen to music, because it felt like work. And it took me, I'd say, 2 or 3 years after leaving the studio not doing it professionally before I could actually put an album on in the background. And
I've got guitars at home, and I never listen to music. Not the radio, I listen to LBC or Talk Radio or something. Nothing to do with
Talk
music.
Radio, yeah.
Or LBC for me, because they talk about topics and people phone in with suggestions and people can get involved in the conversation. And if I listen to music at all, 9 times out of 10, it'll be something like by Yes, and I'll get my Rickenbacker out because I was a real Chris Squires fan. Bless him, he died. But Chris Squires and Paul McCartney stuff. To me, it's melodic. It's McCartney.
And you're playing along.
And you're and I learned the parts to keep playing, because I love playing. I don't pick a guitar up. This is probably the third or second time I picked a guitar up in probably 6 months. Today, and I've got the idea, and I know what I'm supposed to be doing with it. I'm rusty, but I know what I should be doing.
That's the joy of recording, is that you can come up with the idea. The idea is more important than your execution of it, because you can keep going round and round until it's right. But the idea is something that someone else isn't going to come up with, hopefully.
Yeah, I think it's just how you listen. As I say, a lot of my stuff is Chris Squire influenced. Because I I know you've probably heard that. The Rickenbacker for a start, that sound, and some of the things. But McCartney's melodic stuff. McCartney, he's and I think I don't think you can go wrong listening to just those two. Because I think it's all there. There's the aggression with Yes, and there's the melodic stuff with McCartney. It's just very clever stuff.
So that's a similar thing. You're unlikely to be putting music on for fun. No.
Oh no, so I learn stuff, But then it's
but that doesn't mean you don't love music.
No, but it's not the thing I do. I listen to it.
So that's another kind of similarity between live engineering and studio engineering. Is you walk away from your job and the last thing you want to do is
let's go back to it. Well, not as in listen to it on the way home or listen to it. Just why would you? I think it keeps you sharp as well. I think not listening to it and being around it all the time. I think when you do go back to it to do your job, it brings up again that creative side of you that you recharge the batteries, as it were, and you go back to it with that hunger again. You want to do it, and you listen to the stuff. Whereas I think if you're on tour all the time and you listen to it all the time, you get a bit jaded after a while, and you think,
When you go to other gigs, and I know you probably don't. Do you ever go to gigs?
Very rare. My last live gig I think went to was unfortunately it's a shame. I went to James Taylor. My wife and her friends at work got tickets, and they said, "Oh, come on!" I really like James Taylor. He's really he's got a great voice, and the way he plays, and it's lovely. We went to the O2. And we were sitting kind of close to the back on the raised seating area, not up in the goals on it, but down. But because it wasn't sold out, they didn't put a system in there to cover the room. They put a system in for the amount of people there were, and that's a really wrong thing. When you go to a big gig, you got to put a big system in because you're covering the room. You're not covering that half a dozen people. It wasn't a good gig for him because a lot of his stuff is very close, and melodic and sweet, and I always said, and I said then, you'd have been better off doing the Albert Hall because it's really intimate. The Albert Hall,
or Hammersmith, or
the Albert Hall is classy, and it's in a classy.
I must say, I felt at the Albert Hall that it does have a really close vibe in there. That
it's the intimacy of it.
I've been to see bands at the O2 and at Hammersmith and various other places, Brixton Academy and stuff, and you get much more of the kind of the big show feel with that. Whereas at the Albert Hall, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's because people sitting all around you. They're all. And as I said, sound-wise, it's a bloody nightmare. But James Taylor, something like that, really intimate sounding, and he had Michael Landau on guitar, which was great, and I'm happy to say, last time I saw him advertised over here, he was playing the Albert Hall, not the O2. Because I mean, you get 5,500, 6,000 people in the O2, it's bloody empty, isn't it? Well, in the O2, sorry, it's empty, but you get them in the Albert Hall, it's a full house, and it's the atmosphere's there. Which is something you need in a intimate gig, as it were.
Absolutely.
So I didn't enjoy it, but everyone else did.